Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, how are you? I think all of you are safe and sound at home and you are having a nice time in this pandemic situation. Today is our virtual class. Welcome to our virtual class. Today is a virtual class of class 10 and it's a class on transformation of the sentence. So dear students, I think all of you are aware of this topic. In class 10, in English science paper, you will have this transformation of this sentence, and you can see that here you will get 10 sentences, 10 marks, contain 10 sentences. So I am going to discuss only 5 sentences here because of time constraint, and I'll solve 5 problems that are written on this whiteboard. So you can see that you must do it. You have to make it negative, and they are not going to attend the party. You have to make it interrogative. And though he is poor, he is honest. You have to make it compound. I love my motherland. You have to make it basic. Russell is one of the best boys in the class. You have to make it positive. So let's come to our discussion. You can see that concept number 1. You must do it. You have to make it negative. You know that assertive sentence is 2 kinds. One is affirmative and another is negative. So you have told, or you have been asked, you have been told or you have been asked to make it negative. That means this sentence is affirmative. That's why you have to make it negative. As you have been asked, okay, or you have been told to make it negative, that means this sentence is assertive. Affirmative. So whenever you will find must is symbol of affirmatives or must is sign of affirmative sentence. When you will find must and when you are asked or you are told to make it negative, you have to put cannot but. So what would be the answer? You cannot but do it. So instead of must, I have to put or bring cannot but in terms of making negative from affirmative sentence. So you have understood it. When you will find must in affirmative sentence, when you are told to make it negative, you have to put cannot but instead of must. Okay. Come number 2. They are not going to attend the party. You have to make it interrogative. You know that when you are told to make any sentence interrogative, you have to follow some rules. You know that in terms of making interrogative, you have to follow some rules. In interrogative sentence, auxiliary verbs always come first or beginning of the sentence. When you will find this sentence or given sentence or given statement is positive or affirmative, you have to make it negative. When the given statement or sentence is negative, you have to make it positive. So you know that in terms of making interrogative or in interrogative sentence, auxiliary verbs always come in the beginning of the sentence. You can see that are not. Here are is auxiliary verb. Okay, so this are will come beginning of the sentence. So if the sentence is positive, you have to make it negative. If the sentence is negative, you have to make it positive. You can see that are not. It is negative sentence. So if you make it positive, you have to bring only are here. So are they going to attend the party? At the end of the sentence, you have to put note of interrogation or question mark. Okay, you can see that this sentence is negative. You have to make it positive, and auxiliary verbs always will come in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, come to number 3. Though he is poor, he is honest. You can see that you have to make it compound. So actually, this sentence is complex. Okay. In terms of making compound, you have to follow one thing that when any complex sentence starts with do or although. Remember, when any complex sentence starts with do or although, you have to bring or put but in the middle of the sentence instead of or comma. The answer will be he is poor, but he is honest, or he is honest, or but honest. You will see that instead of comma I have brought or I have put but in terms of making compound sentence. So do will not come in that sentence because do is a sign of complex sentence. So in terms of making compound, we cannot bring this do, and instead of comma in the middle of the sentence, we have to put but in compound sentence. He is poor but he is honest. I love my motherland. You have to make it passive. That means voice is two kinds. One is active voice, another is passive voice. So you can see that you have to make it passive. That means this given statement is active voice. So in terms of making passive, you have to follow some rules. That means here you can see that I subject, love is verb, and my motherland is object. So in terms of making passive, you have to make subject of active voice object of passive voice. That means the subject of active voice will be the object of passive voice. The object of active voice will be the subject of passive voice. And this verb will always take past particle form of verb. And before main verb, you have to put to verb. And after verb, you have to put or bring preposition by. So what will be the answer here? We can see that my motherland is loved by me. So the subject of active voice will be the object of passive voice. Here is I subject, here will be object in terms of making passive voice. My motherland is object, here will be subject. So love is a verb, is a present simple or present form of verb. In terms of making passive, we have to put past person form of the verb. Here you can say loved. And before main verb, you have to put to verb in terms of making passive. Here this is actually to verb. And after verb, you have to put preposition by. So you can see that my motherland is loved by me. Come to number last one. Russell is one of the best boys in the class. You have to make it positive. So you know that positive degree always starts with, that is, positive degree always starts in two ways. It starts with no other or very few. Now the question is that when it will start with very few or when it will start with no other. If you find one of the, in the given statement or given sentence, this positive degree will start very few. Whenever you will not find one of the, this positive degree will start no other. Okay, so you can see that very few boys in the class